It is now commonplace for doctors to enter patient information into a computer database while they're talking directly with the patient.
What about your diabetes?
It's under control until I get upset.
But currently, the patient information can only be accessed by other doctors within a practice or a hospital network. In a few months, hospitals like Hillcrest, St. John Medical Center, and St. Francis, as well as some other 50 healthcare organizations in Northeast Oklahoma, including medical schools, first responders, and insurance companies, will be able to access a patient's medical history through a computerized health information exchange. The new program is called Greater Than. Dr. David Kendrick is the president of Greater Than. Here he is explaining to these medical school students how things will change in the Tulsa region come June.
Click on a tab to see the data from those other places about these patients so that we can, avoid duplicating a medication, have the CAT scan results so we don't have to repeat the test, that kind of.
Dr. Kendrick spent the better part of a year meeting with hospital and healthcare provider CEOs. Together, they developed an innovative plan that landed the region $12 million in federal stimulus money to put the Community Health Information Exchange in place.
Now, the third major hurdle that we completed with just last week was to complete contract negotiations with a software vendor who will essentially provide the basic components to connect us with one another. If you imagine Health Information Exchange as a highway system, we don't really have any roads connecting the different hospitals with the doctor's offices, etc. in this community, and so the Health Information Exchange technology that we implement will do that.
Dr. Kendrick says patients will be able to opt out of record sharing, but he emphasizes computer security will ensure that those records are only looked at by health providers authorized to do so. He says the benefits to patients whose health information is on the exchange are many.
So if I were seeing you and I said, I'm about to write a prescription for you, but I really need to know if anybody else has given you a similar medicine so I don't cause a reaction. And I can look in the system and I can see that, somebody across town has written a very similar medication. What I'm going to do is just increase the dose of the medication you've already got.
And right now, when EMSA responds to a medical emergency, they may be caring for someone who is unconscious or unable to give any medical history.
Patients that are on numerous different medications, if they go to another clinic, say if they're in a car wreck even, and they go to an emergency department at a hospital they've never been to, and there's no record of what medications they're on.
Patient Sarah Smith applauds the coming of the new medical information exchange. For her, it could mean the difference between life and death.
It's a good idea because I do have some allergies that are life-threatening if I get the wrong medication, and that way they can get it and see what it is.
Another advantage is for patients who may change doctors or see specialists.
You go see a new primary care doctor, and that doctor now spends an hour asking you questions, when in reality the data from your last primary care doctor could have just been moved over. I hear patients complain about that all the time. I go to see the cardiologist and I start all over with the story.
Those involved in making Greater Than a reality believe it will put the Tulsa region in the national spotlight for medical innovation. For ONR, I'm Liz Exon.